Every year in the United States, over 10 million animals are abused and abandoned. Unfortunately, animal abuse remains a quiet topic, with the majority of cases not being reported. Pauline Cushman is doing something about it. After rescuing animals independently for several years, she eventually founded Hope for Life Rescue, a nonprofit committed to the care of abandoned, abused, and neglected dogs and cats. In addition to being a safe, cage-free haven, the organization facilitates adoptions for these furry friends, helping them find safe and loving homes to call their own. Through the years, Pauline has continued to expand, opening an 1,800 square foot sanctuary that includes a neonatal room and beautifully decorated rooms for sick or injured animals called the Hope Center. In 2008, Pauline came up with another idea, a vacation home for cats and dogs. Currently, she is raising funds to build a new adoption facility to support the 1,000+ animals they save yearly. And through these efforts, she continues the mission to rescue the homeless animals in the community.
Oh, precious animals. Well, Pauline with Hope for Life Rescue joins us live in the studio right now. Pauline, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you. It's an honor to be here today.
Oh, we're honored to have you. So your story of rescuing animals kind of goes back to when you really got to know the Lord, right? Can you tell us a bit of your story?
Exactly right. Yes. I was pretty much a businesswoman most of my earlier years, in my 20s and 30s. But then after 3 bad marriages, I fell to my knees and I said, Lord, if you're real, I need you. I had a dramatic conversion. It was instant. I knew the Lord had come into my heart at that very moment that I asked for help. And that's where the story began. Over the next few weeks, I saw stray animals that I had never seen before, even though I lived in this place for several years. There were many of them at the dumpster. And I looked at them and I saw them for the first time. All of a sudden, it wasn't about me. It was about something else. And God said to me, I felt like he said to me right then, do something.
Wow.
And I said, what am I supposed to do? I don't know what to do. And he said, do something. So I started on, I'd never rescued animals before that. Like I said, it was all about me. But anyway, I started searching for rescue groups that might be able to help me. No one was able to help. I finally got a hold of PETA. They were able to come out and trap the animals. Unbeknownst to me at the time, once you sign that release to PETA, the animals are unfortunately disposed of. Which is heartbreaking. It's just heart-wrenching. But anyway, after that, I began to see more and more cats, and I started to see stray dogs. It was mostly cats at the time. So we independently rescued them and prepared them for adoption and adopted them out. The interesting thing about Hope for Life and how it actually got started is once God showed me these cats and these stray animals, I knew that he had a plan that was bigger than just me rescuing independently.
He tends to do that, right? The
Yes,
plan
he
gets
does.
bigger.
Yes, he does. The plan is always much bigger. And thank goodness he doesn't show you too far ahead because it can be very scary.
That's right.
But anyway, I had a prayer partner at the time. And like I said, my conversion was radical. It was instant. I started throwing everything out of my house, Cosmopolitan magazines, Edgar Cayce books, everything. Yeah.
Cosmo's gotta go.
Everything had to go. And God cleaned out my house. He cleaned out my heart. He cleaned me up completely. Because my conversion was so radical, I couldn't get enough of Bible studies. I hosted one for 20 years. I went to church services. I went to concerts. I mean, I just had this insatiable desire to know the Lord.
Wow.
Because of that, I realized that if I stepped out on my own, it would fail. That to get ahead of God was not the right way to do this. So I had a prayer partner, and we prayed faithfully every Tuesday night for 7 years. One Tuesday night, God spoke to both of us, and he said, now's the time to start.
Wow.
And we just immediately were like, I can't even explain the feeling we had. But we were so excited, we started trying to come up with names. So we started with Hope for Life Dog Rescue, Hope for Life Cat Rescue, Hope for Life Dog and Cat Rescue, Hope for Life Animal Rescue. God said, take out the word animal because you're going to rescue people along the way.
Wow.
That's how Hope for Life got its name.
That is absolutely beautiful.
It is.
Share a little bit more about the heart behind Hope for Life. I mean, we hear the backstory, but you guys are doing something really amazing that a lot of other shelters don't do. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, there's a lot of things different about us. We are pro-life. We don't use the word no-kill. We use the word pro-life because that's what we are. We don't believe that animals should be caged. Dogs should be able to be dogs, and cats should be able to be cats. So we don't cage any of the animals. All of our rooms are glass rooms. They're decorated like nurseries so that the animals feel like they're more of a home environment than a shelter.
I love that. That's awesome.
And God has provided for you all in some miraculous ways, right? You've really seen him move in. And in a moment, we're going to have some of these kittens out here, I believe.
It's really amazing what he does.
Oh, yeah, he'll step in. When he calls us to something, he will provide. Sometimes it takes him a while.
I always say what he ordains, he will sustain.
Yes, yes, and amen.
And when we first started, we were like mostly volunteers, and then we started with one employee. But if God would have told me then that we were going to have 23 employees right now, I probably would have passed out. You know, we have Hope's Garden Resort. God gave us an opportunity. Well, first, let's talk about Hope for Life. God gave us an opportunity to take over the 1,600 or 1,800 square feet that we have now as Hope Center. Well, it was an empty building. It was just a warehouse. And so we had the opportunity to go in and lay it out the way we wanted. And of course, if you see the tour of Hope Center, that's the end result. The contractor next door had a wonderful year, so they paid for the entire renovation, $160,000. Only God could do that.
Yeah.
Only God could do that.
Absolutely, yeah.
No one else could do it.
Yeah. Another beautiful thing, I mean, as you said, the Lord told you to name it Hope for Life, not just for animals, but for people as well. You know, are you briefly able to just tell us of some of the people? I mean, you've seen people come to Christ working with the shelter.
Yes, I have.
That's awesome.
The very first one was a volunteer that came to volunteer with me when we first started Hope for Life. We were in one small room, and she was very worldly. But she came in and she would see miracles happen every day. She would run home and tell her husband there was a miracle. They got a check for $1,000. Where did they get that from? So she saw all that as miracles. One day she came in and she said, I want to go to church with you.
Oh, my goodness.
She said, I want to see the miracles that you see.
I love that. Well, one other thing that you started to mention, but it's something about a garden?
Yes.
What's that about?
After we moved into Hope Center, 3 years later, God gave us an opportunity for another space across the parking lot. And so we renovated that, and that became a boarding facility for small dogs and cats to help fund the rescue.
Okay.
3 years after that, he opened up another space, and we renovated that for big dogs. So we now have Hope Center and Hope's Garden Resort.
I love
Now,
that.
there are kittens in the studio now, and some of our crew and very helpful folks are sitting around cuddling these kittens, but it's time for us to meet a few of them.
Oh, there's the little black and white baby. Oh, my gosh.
Ashley's going to lose it in this program.
These kittens are actually called the shed kittens.
Guys, look at... Okay, so what are they called?
They were called the shed kittens because they were found under a shed with no mama. And so these guys have actually been bottle fed.
Do you have names for them yet?
They have names, but off the top of my head, I don't know exactly what they are.
That's okay. Oh, my goodness.
We have so many.
Yeah, so so I guess, could you kind of walk us through what you guys do? Like, when you find the cats, is it like a phone call? How do you find out about the cats? Then what do you guys do next for them?
Well, right now, we get about 150 emails a day, not to mention Facebook messages, all kinds of information. Mostly calls for help through the email. And
that's mine. See, mine's the cutest, of course.
Why is yours so
Oh, no.
Because I'm not really a cat person, so it's sensing
Look at the markings on this one.
Andrew.
See, mine's...
You're not a cat
If mine
person?
purrs,
Stop
is that
it.
good or bad?
That's good.
All right.
Yeah, that's good.
No, I'm more of a dog. I've never had a cat.
Oh, my gosh.
These guys are very social because they were bottle fed.
Oh, they're so sweet.
Very sweet.
Yes, they are.
I'm sorry, I think we interrupted
All
you.
life
We
matters.
did interrupt. But there's cats on the set, so that'll happen.
That's true.
So what happens, a lot of people know about Hope for Life now. Even though we're a small facility, people must think we're huge because we get so much from some other states. We started taking dogs from Bahrain.
Oh, my gosh.
How do you take dogs from Bahrain? I mean,
There are people in Bahrain that rescue these dogs. They bring them to full health, get them spayed or neutered, and it costs about $3,000 a dog to get them to the United States.
Yeah.
So we're taking from Bahrain. Just recently, we had someone that wanted us to take a litter of puppies from Texas.
what a reputation you all
I
have.
know. That's incredible.
And of course, we said we don't have transport from there, and they said we will transport. They actually paid like $1,300 to have them transported to us.
Okay, I just have to say that my cat is now purring.
Mine's leaving.
Mine wants to leave.
No,
What's wrong with letting it leave? I'm getting a thumbs up. I don't know if that's to let it go.
Oh my gosh, I think they'll. Oh, we'll see, Andrew. It looks like he wants to stay with you.
Sure.
They're so sweet. Okay, how does the adoption process work? If somebody's watching who's local, if they want to call you up, maybe drive into town and see what animals you have up for adoption, how does that work?
The best thing to do would be to go on our website and fill out an adoption application.
Okay.
And then once that's done and approved, you can call and make an appointment. You can check online to make an appointment.
Okay.
We were mostly appointment-based because of COVID, but now we're opened up on the weekends without any appointments. You can come in as long as you have an approved application.
One of the coolest things about this is how God plants a seed in someone and says, I have something new for you. He doesn't give us all the plans ahead of time, right?
That's right.
But slowly he'll reveal, and look at the impact you're having.
Well, you know, I've even asked the Lord, because when I was growing up, I really wanted to be a neurosurgeon. So I wanted to save lives in that way. But once Hope for Life started, I said to God, my plans, I wasn't able to save lives. He said, oh, you will save lives, and you'll even help save some souls.
Wow,
Yes,
sweet.
absolutely.
Ashley's kitten is like in a trance over here. I've been looking at it here.
I'm just the cat whisperer. Honestly, I stopped in our green room before the show, and I'm like, this isn't good, guys. I really want to take one of these cats home. I'm not sure how my dog would do, but honestly, if people are watching, they have dogs at home. I mean, dogs and cats do get along.
Yes, they do.
Okay. Well, do you think do you think it's better when they're like raised together, or do you think an older dog might be okay with like a younger little baby kitten?
It really depends on the personality of the dog. You know, we do cat test our dogs for people that have cats at home, and they're interested in a dog. We go ahead and cat test them for them.
That's awesome.
Well, we really appreciate you being with us today.
Absolutely.
This is precious
Thank
stuff.
you
It's been
so
my
much.
pleasure.
Thank you. And I know Ashley's probably going to have trouble handing hers back over.
I absolutely will.
And to learn more about this amazing ministry, you can go to our website, or, of course, Hope for Life Rescue has their own, hopeforlife.com, and you can learn about adoption that way as well. So thank you again so much.
Hey everyone, I'm Ashley Key. Thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so we can reach more people with encouraging content like you just watched, and so you never miss a beat. See you next time, and God bless.